Buckle up. This is where speed meets the future. Welcome to the all-new motor frame. Don't forget to hit subscribe.
For a long time, the 1000cc engine had a specific reputation. It was a tiny motor built for cheap hatchbacks that rarely left city limits. But the auto industry has quietly broken that rule. Today, those exact same 1000cc motors are being used to power everything from microcommuters to heavy 7-seater MPVs and premium sedans. This creates a real headache if you are shopping for a new car. You have 15 vastly different vehicles on the market right now, sharing this exact same engine size, which completely fractures the buying process. That fracturing leads to massive price gaps. You can spend 4 lakhs on a base model or stretch past 12 lakhs for a premium trim, all for the same 1.0-liter displacement. To make sense of this, let's look at this quadrant chart. The horizontal axis tracks budget, and the vertical axis measures utility. Notice how the 15 cars group into 3 clusters: ultra-budget commuters, mid-range family movers, and premium turbocharged vehicles. Your decision comes down to the manufacturer's specific tuning and the vehicle's form factor, as the engine displacement itself is now a constant across these categories. Let's start with that first cluster, the ultra-budget commuters. This includes naturally aspirated hatchbacks like the Alto K10, Espresso, and Kwid, all sitting comfortably under the 5 lakh threshold. The math here is entirely defensive. You are minimizing your upfront purchase cost, and in return, you secure a massive fuel efficiency rating of 22 to 24 kilometers per liter to keep your daily expenses low. You also get a highly specific physical advantage. These cars can slip through congested traffic and pull off a clean U-turn with a microscopic 4.5-meter turning radius. But the operational trade-offs are steep. Try to push these hatchbacks past 80 kilometers per hour on the highway, and the engine will feel highly strained and lack passing power. You are also accepting a heavily compromised cabin that barely fits 4 adults, alongside the absolute minimum standard safety features, typically maxing out at just 2 airbags. Tier 1 is a strict economic utility play. You willingly sacrifice space and highway speed to secure the absolute lowest cost of daily commuting. Step up to the 5.5 to 7 lakh bracket, and you hit Tier 2. This is where you find vehicles like the Wagoneer, Triber, Kiger, and Magnite. Here, engineers are asking the exact same 1.0-liter engine block from those tiny hatchbacks to move significantly heavier SUV frames, sometimes carrying up to 7 passengers. Upgrading to this tier unlocks massive cabin space. You also gain over 180 millimeters of ground clearance, which is critical if you regularly navigate heavily potholed or unpaved roads. Looking at this side-by-side comparison, the average cabin volume and ground clearance for these Tier 2 family movers completely dwarf the basic hatch cars. But physics dictates a severe mechanical penalty. Notice this steep drop in the power-to-weight ratio. Because the engine is hauling so much extra mass, these larger vehicles will struggle heavily on inclines when fully loaded. That extra effort from the engine also burns more fuel, knocking your average economy down to about 17 to 19 kilometers per liter. Tier 2 forces a very clear compromise. You accept slower acceleration and lower mileage as the strict cost of obtaining maximum interior space for your rupee. Finally, we reach the premium class in the 8 to 12 lakh bracket, housing vehicles like the Fronx, Kylaq, Sonet, Kushaq, Virtus, and Slavia. You are paying a 3 to 5 lakh premium in this tier for one specific technological input: turbochargers and direct gasoline injection applied directly to that 1000cc block. Compared to a standard 1.0-liter engine's flat curve, the turbocharged version kicks output up to 115 brake horsepower and pushes top speeds over 170 kilometers per hour. That higher price point also secures 6 standard airbags and boot capacities exceeding 500 liters. The primary trade-off is purely financial. Purchasing in this tier completely erases the budget aspect you traditionally associate with 1000cc cars. Furthermore, turbocharged engines operate under extreme heat and pressure. You must strictly adhere to scheduled service intervals, or you risk early, expensive component failure. Turbocharging makes this engine a high-performance, tax-saving tool for premium cars that would otherwise require a much larger, more expensive power plant. Since the hardware is identical across the board, Making the right purchase depends entirely on matching your lifestyle to the right tier. We can map this on a decision flowchart. If you are a Profile A buyer looking for maximum daily fuel return, your path goes through City only with a sub-5 lakh budget, ending at the Alto K10 or Quid. If you drive under 20 kilometers a day in heavy traffic, sacrificing space is worth the extreme savings. Now, Profile B. If you must move 5 people on a strict budget, the chart branches to the Triber or Magnite. Accepting sluggish highway performance is the compromise to secure off-road clearance and a third row. Finally, Profile C, the one-car solution. If you need a primary vehicle for long distances, this path takes you to the Virtus, Slavia, or Kylaq. Increasing your investment past 10 lakhs is justified because you gain 5-star safety, 6 airbags, and high-speed stability that rivals larger engines. But before you sign any paperwork, remember your total cost of ownership. Moving from a basic Tier 1 hatchback up to a Tier 3 turbo SUV will drastically inflate your comprehensive insurance premium. Today, the 1000cc badge covers a broad spectrum of capability, letting your budget dictate if you drive home an economic tool or a performance machine.
This video and subscribe to the channel for more.